hello. Welcome in. It's been way too long. Welcome into the Eric Zane Show podcast, a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures from right here in the Impact Power Sports studio. Impact Power Sports. Online at impactpowersportsmi.com. So, let's get right after it. First of all, my hair is like outrageously long, and I don't dare put my I almost said spermade. I don't dare put my pomade on because I'd use the whole tin of it. I'm a Dapper Dan man. I don't want fop, goddammit. So I look kind of like a rooster. It's like sticking up in this big clump on top because it's so long. And I knew this was going to happen. I've been putting off a haircut for the longest time. I got to get my fucking fat ass over to King's Room Barbershop pronto. Welcome to each and every one of you. I'm not going to waste anybody's time. Let's get right to it. It was nightmare fuel at the hockey game on Friday night. I had brought my suit coat, my dress shirt, my tie, my dress pants, my dress shoes, my dress socks, everything with me up to Fear Bunker North. The plan is get up there Thursday, and then Friday I have to come back for that hockey game. And so everything was perfect. I was a little bit late on Friday in getting out the door from Fear Bunker North to head down for the 2.5 hour drive. So much so that I was kind of racing, which, as you know, I like to go slow. But there was one screenshot that I took of me. This is in that Civic, that 2015 Civic Hybrid. I was doing 92 miles per hour. I had a guy who was in front of me who wanted to go that fast, and I figured, well, if he's going to go that fast, I'm going to tail him. So it was like a long-ass drive down 131 South. Kyle says, geez, how many times are you going to tell this story? Kyle listened to the radio show today. He heard me talk about this on the Insane Asylum on Q100 Michigan Mornings. Yeah, but this allows me to really, really drill down deep into this. I can't really get that deep in it, Kyle, when I'm on the radio. It's a different animal, as you know. I march into the office, and Josh Go, is there eating dinner. And I go, hey, buddy, I'll be right back. Let's eat, because they brought like this Applebee's spread, and I was just going to murder the food. I wander over to the men's room, get into the stall, hang my clothes up on the thing with, my hanging clothes, my dress-up clothes. I'm standing there, put on the T-shirt, put on the dress shirt, button it up. Getting ready to put on the tie, but I'll put on the pants. And I look, and there's only one article of clothing remaining on a hanger. And it's the coat. Don't let go the coat. The Who, Face Dances. I'm like, what? Huh? And just the feeling, the fear that's washing over me. I'm like, where the fuck are my fucking pants? And I go, maybe they're in the car? I go, no, there's no way I left them in the car. I'll bet you I never brought them to Fear Bunker North in the first place. Turns out I was right. I was doomed the second I left on Thursday. So now this is what I'm faced with. 15 minutes till I have to be where I need to be for the game. I have to walk across the ice to get to where I need to be. Like, everything from the waist up is status quo. What am I going to do? And then I look, and the pair of shorts that I wear match my outfit, match everything else. They're gray shorts. I've got a pair of gray slip-on shoes that you might wear when you're like out, walking along the boardwalk by the beach. Black shirt, tie, gray coat. I go, fuck it. I'm going full on Angus Young here. And I'm going to act like I knew exactly what the fuck I was doing. Now, mind you, I got a lot of, looks like, well, I've never seen anybody do that before. And it was a warm night. I think context-wise, it worked. At least that's what I'm telling myself. Now, the people that I ran into, they go, easy. And I'm like, yeah, I forgot my pants. I didn't try to play it off like it was nothing, but to there's 8,000-9,000 people that you're going to walk out onto the ice in front of. I'm like, oh, fuck. So that moment when I'm looking down and I see that I'm going to be wearing nothing, I'm going to be wearing my shorts, was such a embarrassing moment. Embarrassing and dread. I was like, oh my God, what the fuck have I done? I'm such an idiot. Son of a bitch. It wasn't quite that bad. I kind of just went, I'm staring at it, and then I go, gray shorts. Well, all right. Guess I'm wearing shorts. There's nothing else I can do about it. I think this is a good example. This is a good growth moment, size of the problem. Rolling with it. I've often thought of myself as a work in progress mentally. I wasn't going to let the fact that I had no pants get in the way of my job. Aram says they don't sell pants between the fear bunker and the rink. Well, you missed a key point of the story, Aram. Okay? I don't know if you got in here late. This is 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 12 minutes. The clock is ticking that I need to be on the ice. I've realized, it isn't like I realized this 3 hours before the game. I'm at the game. Now, I will say this. If you've been with me since the beginning of this story and you didn't pick up on that key thing that I actually said explicitly in the telling of it, well, then you might be slightly retarded. Now, I do think you are a little retarded. In a good way. You are, I would say, 75% retard. But everybody in this live audience knows where we're at this point in the story. So when a question comes out of left field, that is a retarded question. All right. Okay. Now he's saying he just tuned in. Okay. That is not, though a retarded question, you didn't know. So it's totally fine. Just so we know, if you just tune in and you miss a key part of the story, it's up to you to go back and figure out the details. Let's not bog down the fucking story with a question that has already been answered. You know what I mean? Does that make sense from an audience standpoint? I mean, that would be like, okay, let's say Aram goes out to a comedy show. No, let's say he goes to a TED Talk, and he comes walking in, and he's 15 minutes late, and he sits down for 30 seconds, and the guy telling the TED Talk is just doing his thing, and then Aram goes, what about this? And then the guy goes, yeah, I talked about this already. What the fuck is wrong with you? And then he throws you out. So, just so we're all on the same page. It always serves as a good reminder. If you walk in late to this show, that is not mine or anyone else's problem. So don't fuck up the chat and the show by asking a question that's fucking stupid. Okay? Good. All right. Nick says you should have called me. I keep spare work pants in my locker in case I shit myself or get covered in arena goo. Yeah, I don't know if that would have worked. Besides, this was epic. So now it's time to walk out onto the ice. And I walked out, and I just acted like I knew what the fuck I was doing. But then, I have to pee after every intermission. So I walk off the ice. Sure enough, plenty of looks, plenty of laughs. This is the video of what I look like. You're like, easy. We gotta know what you look like. So here you go. I'm sharing it with you now. Josie at the scorer's table is shooting the video. Why can't I not hear this? I see that she's shooting video. What an asshole. I'm waving to the Zamboni driver. Oh, no. Waiting for the other Zamboni to go by. Looking down at the wet ice so I don't fucking bust my ass. That's an Eric Zane Show podcast bobblehead there. Looks like Barack Obama. One of the stagehands got that for me. That was quite an adventure. Ryan says if there was ever a time to fall, that was the time. Aram, you got any questions about anything that you weren't here for? We can go back and tell those parts for you. Aram? Oh, yeah, I missed the beginning. I've got questions about everything that you already covered. Can you not do that anymore? Is that possible? Is that in your repertoire? Because you've done this many times in the past. That has been part of your playbook. Let's just ask a question that is fucking pointless because everybody understands except you. Go back and do your whole intro over again. Just start over. No. God damn it. That is so annoying. And the thing is, I don't even know if you try to do it. I think you've got the tism. I seriously think you've come down with the tism. That's what I think is the issue here. Fuck me. Maureen says, when I saw the caption that you forgot your pants, I had no idea what to expect when you stepped out of that box. Chris says, what do you do with the food? That's a reference to the Larry King bit. Jeremy say, what are the advantages of showing up in a sport coat and shorts? I don't know if you're serious. I've always worn a sport coat there. I will say this. The game, I would probably talk about this more if the team had won yesterday. The season is over. They lost yesterday in Milwaukee. But it was kind of a miracle and that was a decisive game. Whatever team lost, the season is over for them. And it was kind of a miracle that they wound up in that fifth game to begin with, because the short pants game, or the shorts game, as I like to call it, that I was at, if with about 11 minutes to go in the game, the Griffins were down 2-0. They ended up winning the game 4-2. And by the way, Joe says, you mean Sunday, not yesterday. Yeah, that's what I meant. Sunday. Today's Tuesday. They were down 2-0, and then the next thing you know, it's over. They won 4-2. So as I'm sitting there, I'm like, well, if they win this game and then win on Sunday, the next time I have to wear this same gear. I have to wear shorts until they lose. It's like hockey law. Aaron, did you miss anything? You might have gone out to go potty. If you did, just let me know, and I'll just repeat everything. So it was so crazy because Berggren scored to make it 2-1. And then, like a minute later, L'Esperance scored to make it 2-2. And then a minute later, Berggren scored again to make it 3-2. And then 30 seconds later, Berggren scored again to make it 4-2. And that was probably one of the wildest things I've ever seen in my life watching hockey. This is my 19th year doing this. And that was the rowdiest I've ever seen the fans outside of when they won the Calder Cup at home. Aram, if you want, I can tell you what the Calder Cup is. Just send me it. If you need, if you miss anything or not sure, just send me a question and I'll just answer it directly for you. And I couldn't believe it. The goalie for the other team, after one of those goals, he kind of got injured. It was really weird because he did some crazy splits. And the next thing you know, he's laying on the ice. He skates off to leave the game, and then he turns around and goes, "No, I can do it. I can go back in." They go, "All right." So then he went back in and gave up 2 more goals. So they probably should have pulled him. All for naught, though. None of this fucking matters, though. That's what's such a bummer because they ended up losing on Sunday. The backup goalie played for Milwaukee because the first guy I was telling you about got hurt. And but so they ended up losing, and then that's it. The season is over. Had they won against Milwaukee, they would have gone to the conference finals against a team that's really good. Coachella Valley Firebirds. But whatever. All for naught. Not a bad year, though, considering they hadn't been to the playoffs in years under that piece of shit coach, Ben Simon. Fuck that asshole. But good job overall. I mean, you went pretty deep in the playoffs. Everybody seemed to have a good time. I will say this. There was a moment in that game, because this is a Friday night game. Everybody's fucking shit-faced. $2 beers, $2 dogs. And they had nothing to cheer about up until that point when they came back. Well, after like the second goal to tie it, a beer can flew down. And then everyone's like, uh-oh, that's not good. Now, this is the team, the Griffins, where earlier in the year fans started throwing those foam pucks onto the ice. For that, they were like those throw for dough pucks. And the ref said, warn them, no more pucks. So I warned them. I said, the Griffins will be assessed a penalty if you throw any more pucks. Sure enough, people threw pucks. The Griffins were assessed a delay of game penalty. The other team scored to tie it, and then the other team won it in overtime. So the fans cost them the game. So being that they just gone ahead, it was with a little bit of trepidation that I look, and there's beer cans and full water bottles coming down and half full beers flying out of the stands. These idiot fans were all shit-faced, fucking it up for everybody. So then the ref skates over. He goes, okay, this is the warning. It's on you. Tell them to stop. So we cut the music because it was supposed to be a celebration after we had just scored. But we had to cut the music and said, ladies and gentlemen, we will be assessed a penalty if you don't stop. They start booing. They're rowdy. We score the 4th goal. Sure enough, even more beers. That did nothing to slow it down. The alternate captain for the Griffins, Dominic Shine, skates up to where I'm at. There's that little hole in the where you can talk through. And he goes, make him stop! Make him stop! And I'm like, oh, fucking shit. Music. I go, okay, cut the music. And then I actually started saying this into the mic. Stop! Stop! Everybody stop! Stop! Please! Stop throwing things. Now, this was after Berggren's 3rd goal. So they're throwing hats. Now, the hats are fine. You can throw the hats out for a hat trick. That's different than a fucking full water bottle or a half full beer. You know, it's a real safety issue with the players that can trip over while they're skating. It's fucking terrible. And it just looks like shit. You piece of shit. So I'm yelling at the fans to stop. And amazingly, they did not get called for a penalty. But my God. Tyler writes, hey, I just got here. Why didn't Eric just go home to get his pants? Cole says maybe if Aram ate some meat, his brain would work right. Yeah, I think, I mean, honestly, you can say, well, I just got here, but it's still you. It's still, if anybody else did that, it'd be the same treatment. You cannot just come flying into the room and say, and because you're late, demand like a special catch-up feature to get you caught up on the story. That's an incredibly arrogant way to look at this. It's a show. I'm going to harp on you the whole show. You might as well just get used to it. Aram nominee for asshole of the day for that nonsense. Beer throwing fans nominee. If you have nominated, let's start doing this for asshole of the day. You can nominate during the show. That might even spur something to talk about. Chris says, learn the lessons Kenny has taught us. Exactly. Now, typically what Kenny will do, though, when I'm beating up Aram, all of a sudden you'll see Zildjian or whatever the fuck he calls himself. You'll hear, oh, man, I'm just glad it's not me for once. What? Yeah, don't do that either. I'm just glad I'm not the brunt of it. Kyle writes Kenny's name should be included at the top of every asshole of the day list. Then he says, because we all love him so much. Yeah, I don't know why you would say that. If you say that, you realize you put yourself in great peril. He may swing the ban hammer on you. You don't want to live in that world. All right. Jeremy says, you look good, waist up. I was referencing a very old question you had for a homeless guy. What are the advantages of being homeless? Yeah, we get it. Shut up. Milwaukee Admirals for asshole today. Nah, they're good. They played great in that game on Sunday. That goalie is just lights out. Troy Grosnick. Old school. Okay. We are off and running. I want you to know that today is an Act 1, Act 2 show. I have typically the radio staff meeting is on a Monday, but everybody had Monday off. We do Tuesday. We were up at Fear Bunker North for the weekend, as I indicated, in case Aram's just tuning in. And it was Fish Fry weekend. We always do that on Memorial Day. So we have a couple dozen people. We've got a bunch of dogs. Like, not kidding. I'm not kidding. 10 or 11 dogs. Everybody brings dogs. We bring our 4. Charity Scam Mike brings his 2. My sister Sue brings her 2. My niece brings her dog. My other niece brings their dog. It's remarkable. Mike, Charity Scam Mike, caught these walleye, and the fillets were, I'm not kidding you, they were like 15 inches long. And we battered them up, fried them, and my God. Oh, so good. Molly writes, wait, you have 4 dogs? Damn. Yep. Since we only go back so far, Molly, you don't know the history of Benny the One-Eyed Wonder Dog. One of these days, I will bring him in here for you to meet him. And he's called the One-Eyed Wonder Dog for exactly that reason. He's got one eye. He's awesome. He's Benny the Wonder Dog. Benny the One-Eyed Dog. Benny the One-Eyed Wonder Dog. Benny the One-Eyed Dog. I don't know where it is. I don't have it in front of me. Damn it. I never have it in front of me. There it is. Okay, here we go.
He's Benny the Wonder Dog. Benny the Wonder Dog. Benny the One-Eyed Wonder Dog. Yeah. Benny the One-Eyed Dog. Benny the One-Eyed Dog. Benny the One-Eyed Wonder Dog. Don't you want him? Say.
Joe Martinez writes, I thought the Griffins played better. They just couldn't find the net. Yeah, they were. I was listening to the game. I wasn't watching it, but Bob Kaiser described it as such. So just to buy, I love the playoffs for the boy. The fans sure got into it to that game. It was just fantastic. Jimmy says, I'll trade you some haddock for some walleye. Yeah, walleye is really exceptional, man. Perch is even more expensive around here. He had about 4 pounds of perch, which if you were to buy perch right now, it's about $30 a pound. So damn good. So expensive, too. But he caught it all. He cleaned them all. We had all our walleye, our perch. And we cooked so much walleye that we didn't even fry up the perch. And guess who was the French fry king? This guy right here. Donut Dan says 1 kidney and 1-eyed dog. You're darn right. Okay, for those folks who are watching the show on Facebook, X, and YouTube, thank you so much. I'm going to kick you out, though. The rest of the show you can check out on Twitch if you prefer to get the show live. That is at twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live, or download the Twitch app and then search Eric Zane Live, and off you go. The audio podcast is available wherever you download shows. Just search the Eric Zane Show podcast. There it is. Subscribe to it, and you can check it out. It'll show up each and every day after I post it to your favorite podcasting platform, and I am on all of them. And then the Patreon. This week, we've got a Big Fraud. Well, I don't have confirmation on the day, but I'm going to ask Ben if we're going to do a Big Fraud Thursday. We're going back to doing Who Are These Free Beers? We will feature an episode of Who Are These Free Beers, and then we'll have the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. So those 2 episodes later in the week. But every day I post material. I do a bonus podcast every day, similar to this one. I do the Lost Zane recordings, my old shows from WBBL, which I owe you 2 of. Last week, Friday, and today, or yesterday. Sorry about that. I messed that up. There's also all sorts of goodies there, including something to listen to while I'm away, which features some old shows from back 2.5 decades, or 1.5 decades ago. And you can enjoy those. Plus a whole lot more on Patreon. And you can sign up for 7 days free. That's one of the advantages. What are the advantages? One of the advantages of Patreon, you can sign up for 7 days free. You put in a payment form, and then while you're there, cancel it. You're like, wait, why am I canceling it? I just signed up for 7 days free. Well, that's because I don't want you to be charged if you don't like it. Let's say you're 2 days into it, you go, this sucks. I got to remember to cancel it. And then you don't, and then I charge you. That's kind of weird. I don't want to do it that way. So sign up for 7 days free and then cancel it. And then after that, after you've expired your 7 days, then you can sign up again and pay the $5 or $10. That's up to you. Or if you trust me that you're going to like it, just sign up, get the 7 days, and then let it segue right over into charging you. That's up to you. Thank you so much, Facebook, X, and YouTube.